The story I'm going to read to you tonight is a story of love, loss, misfortune, and dark magic. It's a story of a goblin who takes children's lost teeth and steals their dreams as well. Although he is a goblin, he didn't start out that way. Originally, he was a gnome who was deeply in love with the Tooth Fairy, who in return loved him as well.
What are we about to hear, Gramps? Another story of fairy tale princesses and unicorns?
Julia, there are fairies in this story, but all stories about fairies aren't necessarily fairy tales, and unicorns are vile creatures. As I was saying, there was another who loved the fairy. He was an ancient creature practicing in the darkest of magic. He fed on children's dreams. One night, this warlock decided he would take the Tooth Fairy to be his own. Come on, Grandpa Dread. Let's hear the story. What was that, Gramps?
Yeah, what was that?
Let's say these old stories have a little life in them yet. Now this is the telling of a tale from a time before tales were told. A tale so old that its origins are unknown. A story of a goblin who had once been a gnome. He lives in a magical forest, hidden under fog, through the bellowing redwoods, whose faces moan their song. Deeper into the forest, beneath the dark woods, in this place of magic, where his ancient oak stump stood. This is no ordinary tree stump. It's gnarled as is old. Windows where branches once were let out an eerie glow. Covered by fungus and surrounded by ferns, it cannot be seen, for it's cloaked by his charms. Hidden within the oak stump, the goblin toils and troubles, creating magic potions for his night's travels. Traveling by magic to villages and towns, slipping into bedrooms where children sleep sound. Every day, children lose their teeth, hoping the fairy visits while they sleep. But he is no fairy, only a thief. He sneaks and he creeps, their teeth for him to take, turning teeth into treasure before they wake. For he has not only come for their teeth, but their dreams were also his to take. By placing a drop of his potion on their brow, saying his chant, their dreams rise now. Rising from the child's head, a dream disappears, being transformed into a jellyfish-like sphere. He opens his magic lantern and harvests the child's soft glowing dream. A fragment of their memories, a glimpse into their childish souls. Now into the goblin's lantern, and the goblin returns home. Back to his forest and back to his tree. Well beneath the roots in a dark cave. For this is the place where the goblin comes to let the dreams free. Free to dance, move, and fly about, filling the cavern as the stars fill the vastness of night. In the center of this cave, lighting its dark, was the siren-like glow of a crystallized heart. For within the light and within the heart deep, it was the Fairy of Teeth, cursed to be forever asleep. Encased in this heart are magical powers, and the dreams dance through, bathing her in light. She feeds the dreams feed her powers every night. The light feeds the heart, keeping the fairy and the goblin alive. The heart was the goblin's when he was a gnome. A gnome who loved a fairy, and a fairy who loved him alone. Want me to finish the story? Can you make it? Yes. One night when she was out collecting teeth, she crossed the path of an evil warlock who was stealing children's dreams. He lurked in the shadows, following her each and every night. This she did not know, until one night, the fairy did not return home. She was now under the warlock's power, caught under the warlock's spell, and her light was his as well. The gnome traveled over the mountains, sailing across the seas. Fighting through blizzards, he encountered many beasts. Until he found the warlock's lair under a giant ancient tree. This is where the gnome fought the evil warlock to set the fairy free. But this is not the day for that tale to be told. For this is the tale of a goblin, and not the story of the gnome. Good night and good dreams.